Hello students, so today we are back here. We are looking at the second half of section 8.3, which is finding the area of a semicircle. Okay, so I already talked about what a semicircle is in previous sections. Remember, it is exactly half of a circle, okay? So to review what we learned last class, we were talking about the area of a circle, okay? So the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared, okay? So that means that the area of a semicircle is just going to be half of that, okay? So you can write that as area of a semicircle. You can calculate it the same exact way by taking pi times the radius squared, but then after you do that, all you need to do is divide that area you get by 2, okay? Because the area of a semicircle is half, okay? So it says find the area of a semicircle or orchestra pit. We need to show all work, okay? So I'm going to start out by saying that the area of this semicircle is equal to pi times the radius squared divided by 2. Okay, you see that from this end to this end is 30, so that is called a diameter, right? Diameter is 30. The radius is the diameter divided by 2. We need the radius, so we have to divide 30 by 2, so we get 15, okay? So plug in everything we know, okay? So the area is equal to, again, we use 3.14 in place of pi. It just approximates pi, easy. So we can put 3.14 in for pi. We know that the radius is 15, so we have to square it. And then after we multiply those two, we are going to divide by 2. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, order of operations, says we take exponents first, okay? So 15 squared, we get 225, okay? So 3.14 times 225. After we do that, we can divide by 2. 3.14 times 225 is 706.5, okay? So that would be the area of a circle, okay? But now we only want the area of a semicircle. So when we divide that by 2, we will get this orchestra pit area, which is 353.25 feet squared. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing we did last class, except now we have to divide it by 2. Okay, we have 4 more examples, 4 through 7, that you can practice finding the area of a semicircle. If you feel comfortable, pause the video now, try these on your own, and you can scroll through to find my answers to check them when you are complete. If you want a couple more examples, here we go now. Okay, so they are telling us that from this center to the other center is 8, so the diameter is 8. That means the radius is half of that, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. I always start out by writing my formula, pi times radius squared divided by 2. I plug in 3.14 for pi. We're going to multiply that by 4 squared and divide it by 2. 3.14 times, now we have to do 4 squared. Remember, this is not 4 times 2, this is 4 times 4, so we get 16. And after we multiply those two, we will have to divide by 2. Okay, so 16 times 3.14, I'll go over here, is 50.24. And finally, we need to divide that by 2, and we will get an area of a semicircle of 25.12 meters squared. Okay. In number 5, they give us the diameter again of 5, so we need to divide that by 2. 5 divided by 2, we will get a radius of 2.5. Write out the formula and plug in everything you know. So 3.14 goes in for pi, the radius is 2.5, and we need to square it. we always do our exponents first. So 2.5 squared, or 2.5 times 2.5 is 6.25. Ooh, hopefully you caught my mistake here. I did not write this all divided by 2. Okay, so 3.14 times 6.25, and then we will have to divide that by 2. Okay, so 6.25 times 3.14, we get 19.625. And when we divide that by 2, we will get that this semicircle has an area of 9.8. I'll just round to the nearest tenth, okay? And units, remember, this is yards squared. Okay, 2 more examples. This time they actually did give us the radius, okay? So we do not have to divide by 2. So the radius is 11. Remember, a radius is from the center of a circle to the outside of a circle. Okay, so we'll write the formula. We have pi times radius squared divided by 2. And now we can plug in everything we know. We use 3.14 for pi. Our radius is 11. And divided by 2. 11 squared is 121. We multiply first before we can divide. Okay, so 121 times 3.14 is 379.94. And finally, when we divide this by 2, we will get that this semicircle has an area of 189.97 centimeters squared. Okay, and for our last example, I don't really know what this is a picture of. Maybe a window shade? Anybody have any ideas? Okay, so this time they gave us the diameter. They were trying to trick us again, okay? So we have the diameter is 24. When you divide that by 2, you know that the radius is 12. Start with the formula, so pi times radius squared divided by 2. Plug in everything we know, so we use 3.14 for pi times 12 squared divided by 2. When you start to simplify this, remember, exponents always come first, so 12 squared is 144, so 3.14 times 144 divided by 2. When we multiply 3.14, we get 452.16, and divide that baby by 2, and we get an answer of 226.08 inches squared. Okay, so hopefully things are catching on. Remember, you always just want to start by writing the formula out first, and then filling in everything we know and simplifying. We will actually stop there for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Please have a great rest of your day.